Hey YouTube, so this is going to be an analysis of this game and a how to defeat Persians for whenever you're playing on Deathmatch Michi Turbo mode enabled. For me, it's TATARS. You need TATARS. TATARS is a powerhouse just like Persians. The reason that they are a powerhouse, in my opinion, is because the flaming camels are very destructive towards enemy buildings. And for a Persian player, their number one building, their number one thing that they need to produce their elephants is castles. Um, this game, it was me, Westbrook, Yo-Yo, who is Gary, along with Gamer. We were going up against Ross, Assassin, Ghost, and Victor. And if you have played against Ross before, especially when he's teamed up with Assassin and Ghost and Victor, or any combination of the people from the Discord Michi server, you know that whenever Ross is playing, he usually picks Persians, and somebody on his team, or more than one person, will be slinging him food and gold. So what that means is he's going to try to... what Ross always likes to do is spam castles throughout the entire side, his entire line right here, and the teammates will wall in front. We all do this. I mean, everyone does this. We wall in front. Um, Me, the reason I'm walling like this is because I expect them to... Right off the bat, you can't see them. You don't know where they're at, especially at the beginning of the game. The wood line hasn't been reached far enough for your outpost to gain an understanding of who's in front of you. So the walls are to control elephants whenever they breach in. You'll have to break each one before they can reach your main important buildings, your economy, and inevitably your trade, which means that you will basically lose unless you can fight it back, which is very difficult to do. For this game, we pick civs. So Assassin is Tatars, Victor, Saracens, Ghost, Teutons. Teutons will be slinging, mainly, along with Assassin. I know how Assassin plays, I know how Ghost plays. Ross is Persian, so he's going to try to spam up to 400 elephants. This was a 15-minute treaty game. For right now, we have Yo-Yo, who is Gary, with Saracens. He is going to be pushing Teutons, which is going to be a huge deficit in terms of the slinging potential that Ross could obtain. On the other side of my side of the team, we have another Tatar player in Gamer. We talked strategy prior to this game. I recommended that we pick 2 Tatars in order to counter Ross's elephants. And then we have Hindustanis in Westbrook. So for the other team, like I said, Tatars, Saracens, Persians, Teutons versus I'm sorry, a little bit tongue-tied. Versus two Tatars, Saracens, and Hindustanis. So what we have, the plan was to find a weak point and push through it while the flaming camels go in and destroy the gates, and then the army, one of us, is able to push through and eventually destroy their trade. So what I'm doing, I am sending my flaming camels into the gates to create an opening so Gary's army can continue to push forward. Over here, Westbrook is starting to fight Victor and Ross, and also Assassin. Westbrook is a very good Deathmatch Mitsu Turbo player. Very good. So he can hold 3 people if he needs to. He could hold 4. He is that good of a player, in my opinion. Flaming Camels, obviously faster than the Teutonic Knights, so they're able to keep ahead of them. The only problem is the castles that are going to be slaughtering my army as they push through. Gary is doing good, holding against them while we slowly make progress. But I did realize that elephants were forming here, so I built monasteries and attempted to convert his elephants from the other side of the wood line, and I did create bombard towers as a line of defense in case he was to get through. But thankfully, because of my walls, I will be secure for the time being until my teammates would be able to help me, but that wasn't the case in this game. That wasn't required. For Gamer, he's going to start cutting open this section, and he's going to push the strongest player on the other team, in my opinion, Assassin. Assassin is a very good micro player, very good unit controller in Deathmatch Michi Turbo. So as long as you keep busy their strongest player, it should be... It's not going to be easy regardless. Whenever you're playing against Ross, you cannot let him build up. You have to push immediately. Otherwise, you allow him time to build up. You allow him to gain a lot of food and gold, and for him to delete villagers and trade cards, because his teammates will start slinging him more and more and more and more, and then you will be eventually fighting 400 elephants across the entire map, and that's not good for anyone. So I'm continuing to gather my flaming camels and or set the gathering points to the gates while Gary slowly creeps up. But at this point, I believe that I saw it was a lost cause just because the distance that my army had to travel. If you're TATARS, you go for Ross. You go for Ross. You do not go to his teammates, you go directly for Ross. Reason being is because Persian walls and gates have lower health points than other civilizations like Saracens and Teutons. And his teammates are not able to wall for him constantly. I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking for, constantly. They're not able to wall for him constantly. So the goal is to search for Ross, then send everything at him that you can, and while you micro. It's very important. This wood line was slowly starting to become open, so I wanted to close it up while we were focusing on here to see what we can get accomplished. You can see from the food and gold, Ross unfortunately has not been getting slinged like how he normally does. His teammates don't have enough food or gold, with the exception of Assassin, who has 30,000 food, 3,000 gold. I, on the other hand, have a large amount. 64,000 food, 23,000 gold, because I had a strategy in mind when going into this game. And I am very lucky that Gary started right next to me. See. Deleted the walls, giving me enough time to... I placed the walls there with enough time for me to change focus, change gathering points, and create an army. So I saw through the outpost that Ross's villagers were right here chopping wood, so I guessed that his base was right in front of me, which I am very lucky that I guessed right. So the goal was to send the flaming camels to the gates and start targeting his castles. Create enough of an opening, you can start going past that. I don't like going directly to this gate and straight into here because it's not going to do much, you know. It's such a small gap right here in this little region right here. It's so small. I prefer to create a bigger opening, allowing multiple armies to gather there, not just mine. So here we have Gary slowly catching on, sending in Mamluks to support the flaming camels and to get ready to push through whenever an opening is made. Already, Ghost has queued a wall and gates to try to close it up, but it's not enough. I'm microing my flaming camels to his villagers as they're moving over there. There's some that get by, but it's understandable because Victor's cavalry archers and Mamluks are there stopping me. There's nothing I can do about that. So So Gary is also fighting here still. He built up a wall. So we discussed what we had wanted to do, and he is a very good team player. On the other side of the map, Gamer is holding his own in a 1v2 situation. Purple doing the same. Westbrook, like I said before, he is a very good team player, so he's holding his own also in a 1v2. I am just pushing my camels onto the gates, setting the gathering points if I have to gates, while Gary's Mamluks are creating a barrier, a defensive line for my army to pass on through. And as soon as we got through there, start targeting the Persian gates. And this is what I was talking about, creating a bigger gap. As in destroying the castles around, hitting those walls for his army to get on through. And that's going to be the game changer right there. Those group of Mamluks right there, those 49 beautiful Mamluks, 50 Mamluks getting into that trade is going to create, or going to cause so much more damage than what I would be doing right here. With them destroying the trade carts, it's going to be less gold income coming in for the team, and you can tell their gold is considerably lower when compared to ours. And now you have Ghosts sending in Teutonic Knights and Scorpions over here as well. Not only that, but Victor is also trying to come in here. So now it's a 2v3 situation. But that gives Westbrook enough time to react as well. Westbrook is already pushed into Victor's front line. Over here, Assassin is... it's still a close fight over here. Very close fight over here. Two TATARS going head to head. But here's where the game is going to change the most. And Gary is still in the trade. Even though it's a small amount of Mamluks, it was enough to make them look somewhere else instead of where they should be looking, and distract them from what's going on right here. They take their focus off of the main fight. So what I am doing here is I'm sending this army over here to cause them to react. Or hopefully react. Maybe level a castle in the process. Yep, level a castle in the process. And then back over here away from the main fight. Gary's still holding his own 1v2. And here's an opening right here. This wall is weak, if you can notice. See, the camels are just too fast. They're just way too fast. It's close to the Cobra cheat that's in this game. That small amount just took it halfway health. Or took the castle down to halfway health. And Ross is going to try to replace the castles, which he should, definitely. As soon as that castle falters though, or as soon as it falls, it just becomes easier. I don't have to worry about being targeted from this side. Now I can go right here. And Gary's Mamluks right here is also going to create another defensive barrier for me. We have 136 flaming camels right here. No, I'm sorry. 152 that were coming in. And I'm just slowly focusing, not slowly, but I am just focusing on destruction of those castles and the gates, creating an opening for Gary so he can push his Mamluks in, which would eventually destroy the trade. And he goes in a second time, this time with 40 Mamluks. And since he's already in, I don't need to keep focusing here. Now my efforts could be focused on the castles. Mamluk or the Flaming Camel count over 100. More than enough. More than enough. Ross's castles are gone right here, so there's no production of elephants coming in right here. So yeah, but this was just a quick video. I just wanted to explain in detail what I was doing this game and to give you guys a rundown on how you should be playing TATARS if you choose them. They're best for destroying buildings that are in your way to create an opening for your teammates to push on through. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off now. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thank you guys. If you aren't already, please sub. I really do appreciate it, and see you guys soon.